Hello everyone. Today we are taking a look at Shuna's Journey by Hayao Miyazaki. This is a relatively short story told in a format called a monogatari in Japanese, something between a picture book and a traditional manga, illustrated here in beautiful watercolor. The book was published in 1983 in Japan, and I will show more of that version later, but for now here is the first English translation, published by First Second in 2022. Those of you wondering why the cover looks different than the one you might have seen elsewhere, I'm sorry to have confused you. Since I didn't quite love the original cover, I thought it could be fun to design my own, and it was. During the process, I also got rid of the hardcover boards, transforming the book into an open-spine paperback, which was thankfully pretty easy considering the excellent quality of the sewn binding. Then I just added a dust jacket printed on packing paper, hiding the imperfections brought by my inexperienced experimentation. But what about the book itself? Miyazaki created it during a lull in his career in animation. It's very loosely based on a Tibetan folktale called The Prince Who Turned into a Dog, a mythologized story of how Tibet first encountered barley, which became the nation's staple food. In Shuna's journey, the titular prince sets off from his impoverished land in search of the mysterious golden grain. While in Miyazaki's version he does not turn into a dog, there are a few enduring parallels, though definitely with some added themes and motifs, recognizable to any fan of his films, including humanity's relationship with nature, strong female characters, even political themes touching on slavery and globalization. It says a lot, given its concise and restrained nature, and the story also manages to convey a very rich and authentic world. And this world might look familiar to those who've seen Miyazaki's films, especially the earlier ones. There are some similarities that might even suggest a shared setting between Shuna's Journey, Nausicaa, and Castle in the Sky. Namely, certain design choices for clothing and architecture, fantastical creatures, technology, and so on. But you could easily say the only world they share is the mind of their author, without any codified lore, leaving plenty of room for improvisation, while still using his visual repertoire where he sees fit. At first glance, there is also a striking similarity to Princess Mononoke in the creature Yaku, which you can see Shuna riding, another creature invented by Miyazaki and reused in Princess Mononoke, even though that film takes place in historical Japan, which confirms that the similarities between his works don't necessarily imply the shared universe. And here is the Japanese edition, printed in the A6 bunkobon format, making it very cute but not quite ideal for this book. Luckily the panels are not as small as in most manga, so the size isn't as problematic as it could be, but the larger format of the English edition just works better. The Japanese edition also has glued binding, making the book difficult to fully open, creating another obstacle for enjoying the art. Speaking of art, you'll notice the Japanese version uses glossy paper, which, combined with a difference in color reproduction and contrast, has quite a different result when comparing the two editions. I like both, and it's hard to say which is closer to the original watercolors, but if I had to guess, the sweet spot would be something between these two. With a heavy heart, since the visuals get really interesting after the halfway point, I stopped flipping through the book to avoid spoilers, as this is a mostly visual story. However, if you are interested in a full flip through, I'd recommend the always excellent Cartoonist Kayfabe review. And that will be all for now. Thank you for watching and goodbye.